Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Horst Lüning, and I'm the master taster of Whisky.com. Today I present an independent bottled Laphroaig. This is one of the distilleries which produce very smoky, peated single malt whiskey on Isla's south coast. And this one is bottled by an independent bottler, which means this independent bottler has bought casks filled with fresh Laphroaig malt whiskey, and this independent bottler matured this whiskey as long as he intended to, or as he figured out would be the best. The Signatory Vintage company is one of the big four independent bottlers in Scotland, and they own, or Andrew Symington, the proprietor of Signatory Vintage, they own more than 10,000 casks. So it's a big one. And this Laphroaig is distilled in 1998. It's 15 years old, which is quite an age for a Laphroaig, because most of the single malt whiskey of Laphroaig is bottled at 10 years or at the quarter cask and triple cask without an age statement. The Laphroaig Select coming up, also without an age statement. And this one is 15 years old, and there's an 18-year-old on the market, an original bottling, quite expensive, quite rare to find. This one has 15 years. It was distilled on September 22nd, 1998, and put in the bottle on January 15, 2014. So it's 5 months in the bottle. It's a refill sherry butt with a number 700,357, and this was the bottle 599 of 794. 46% ABV, no coloring, no chill filtration, and it's quite light for 15 years, but it's darker than the original one, which is bottled in a green bottle that you do not see the pale color. They use first and second fill ex-bourbon casks for the original bottling, and probably also third fill casks. And this one is a refill cask, refill sherry cask, and the sherry casks lose their sherry to the first filling nearly completely. More than 90% is gone with the first filling, and the second filling only takes aromas out of the oak. And this will be very interesting, because you have on one hand the distillery character, which is very smooth, because the pot stills are very narrow, have a narrow junction between the pot still and the conus on top. So the taste is very smooth, but the peatiness of the malt is extreme and very, very heavy. But the long maturation period of 15 years tend to reduce the peatiness, the smokiness of a whiskey, because those phenols and other low oxidized compounds will react further on more to a higher stable, to a more oxidized form, and this will reduce the peatiness over the years. So if you have an 18-year-old original bottling of Laphroaig, it's less smoky than the 10-year-old. So this will be very interesting, 15 years just in between. And the refill sherry cask will give most of the aroma will be from the oak of the cask and not of the sherry. Smoke. But not that strong and sharp as the original Laphroaig is. It's smoother, it's weaker. The fruitiness is gone. the distillery character is nearly invisible, intasteable, insensible. There's the peatiness on top, smoother than the original, and there is oakiness coming up from the back. It's definitely not the most richly flavored of all Scotch whiskies as it's written on the original bottle. I think I had that one already. I put you a link in here. You find it also at the bottom. Yeah, have a sip. Mouth-watering, yes, and strong on the tip, prickling, and a light oakiness coming up. So this sherry butt should have been out of American oak and out of European oak, because the extreme bitterness of the European oak is missing. Pleasant, not too strong. 46% ABV goes well with the intensity of the oak and of the intensity of the distillery itself. This one does not belong to the strong and heavy Laphroaigs, but for the more subtle and more complex, peaty, aromatic Laphroaigs. Yeah, very interesting. And if you have, or if you see one of those bottles on the shelf of your dealer, please look carefully which cask was used. If it was there are, from the Signatory vintage brand, there are first fill sherry casks, there are refill sherry casks, there are hogsheads, and I think I have seen refill ex-bourbon butts also on the label. So look at first before you buy. Thank you for watching Whisky.com. Stay tuned, there's more to come. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and feel free to share this video with your friends.